What's up, everybody? Coach Tim Springer, Spartan Basketball, here with another car series. Just finishing up another weekend with the National Guard duty. Long but enjoyable weekend. Very tired right now, but we did some training activities yesterday. Land navigation, which basically is, you take the soldiers and you say, okay, you're at this point here, and you need to travel to this point or find these points, and whatever the mission may be. Obviously, for the training purposes, you just find points in a designated area based upon what you're given in a map and coordinates. And it's actually pretty fun, and it's kind of interesting how, based on just simple things like just having a pace count, a map, protractor, compass, you can pretty much find any point on any map and travel to it. But what I thought about a lot is how that's so much a reflection of life and what you're trying to accomplish. For several reasons. Obviously, the map is like, your dream or goal that you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to see, or where you're going to have to travel. And then you find your points on that map, and that's exactly where you're trying to go or trying to be. And then you have your distances, which is basically what it's going to take to get there. Just like any goal is going to take something to get there. And then you also have your azimuth, which is the angle or the direction you're going to go to travel that distance, which, we have to have a certain direction in anything we're doing if we're going to accomplish it. So it was kind of interesting that I saw that reflection in it. But I thought here's the even bigger part that was really interesting that I want to share is something as small as, well, let's say this. When you get your map and you want to find this location, they got to give you the coordinates on the map so you can find it. If they say, hey, you got to make it to this school, you got to find the coordinates on that map, because that's the first step, so that you have those locked in. Well, you can get, a certain amount of numbers in a grid coordinates. It can be different. It could be 6, 8, 10, or whatever it's going to be. But the interesting part is just as much as 2 numbers can make the difference of 100 to 1,000 meters of how close you're going to be exactly to that precise location. The other side of that is that azimuth, that direction in which you shoot towards that location. If it's off even a few degrees, can send you, again, 100 to thousands of feet or meters away from this desired spot you want to go. And I think that's so much true about what we do when we try to plan. A lot of times we just make a generalized statement of, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Oh, I want to make the NBA, or whatever it is. And I think you got to get down to those details. I think you got to get down to that precise degree or that precise number within your coordinates on your map, because then you're more likely to get there, and you're more likely, more precise to get there quicker, more efficiently, but also to get to that exact spot that you really want to be. And I think that's really important. And the other thing that we use a lot, soldiers, when we're traveling and using this land navigation, is terrain association. So, we may be following the map, we may have our pace count and our distance of where we're going, but that doesn't mean that, we don't see a river or a depression in the land, and we use that on the map to make sure that we're on the right path. We used the creek bed yesterday, and to me, that's your goals within your dream. I look at these goals I set within this dream and say, okay, yeah, we're on the right path, or we're close, or whatever it may be. So my whole lesson behind all this is you've got to be precise. You've got to be just as precise as we are when we travel different lands, and know your exact direction to the angle, so to speak, the distance, which is pretty much what it's going to be to take, and make sure you're on the right map. If I have a map of St. Louis, but I'm trying to travel somewhere in Texas, that's not going to work. I'm not going to find anything I want. So you got to be on the right map, plot your points on your map. Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you want to accomplish? And take it from there. And then you got to travel, be very disciplined in your travel, and determined, and you make it there. That's the lesson for today. Take care. God bless.